Okay, so in order to factor my function and graph it, I first decided to factor it. So I factored out x minus 2, x plus 5 using grouping, and then I used synthetic division to factor out this group of numbers right here, and I was able to find that it was a factor, and then I just used factoring by grouping again to get the rest of my factors, which I put down here in factored form, and then I used this part right here, and I just set it to 0, and then to find my factors of 0, 2, and negative 2, which I wrote down here with x plus 5 in factored form. I then canceled out the x minus 2 on both the top and the bottom, and I knew that I would have a hole at x equals 2 on my graph. To find the vertical asymptotes, I had to find values that would make my bottom equal to 0, which means the function would be undefined. And so I did that and found my vertical asymptotes were x equals negative 5, x equals negative 2, and x equals 0. Then, to find my slant asymptote, I just divided the top by the bottom, like the rational function says to do, and I got x minus 7. I didn't bother writing the remainders because those aren't significant. This is just long-term behavior. And then for the x-intercepts, I used the factored form to find which values of x I would need to make my top 0, which would make the overall function, the y value, 0. And then I found those right here, negative 1, 1, negative 3, and 3. And then for the y-intercept, I knew that there was an asymptote at x equals 0, so there wasn't any y-intercept. So when I was graphing my function, I tested values on either side. So I tested negative 1/2, negative 3/2, negative 5/2, and 4, which I did right here. And then I would find if it was negative, positive, negative, or positive to see the long-term behavior. So I would draw. So I would just know which way it would go. And then to draw this swoop right here, I knew that long-term behavior, it would have to go towards x minus 7. And I also tested a point at 1/2 to see if it would be positive, which it was right here. And I knew that there was also going to be a hole at x equals 2, so it would swoop like this. And I also knew that there was also going to be some values down here, and so that I knew that it would have to be going towards negative infinity because there aren't any more x-intercepts, and one part of it would have to be going towards this asymptote, and the other half would be going towards this asymptote. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.